Kia ora, I'm David Chester with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at Everything You Need to Know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news that non-China Asia seems to be on the rebound, and it is not just because India is driving it. Japanese corporate spending on plant and equipment in the fourth quarter of 2023 jumped an unprecedented and surprising 16% from the same period a year earlier. It was very much more than was expected and will leave some concerns about weak domestic demand. Companies are clearly looking ahead with optimism. In South Korea, their PMI factory survey shows conditions continue to improve during February. They have a sustained expansion in both output and new orders amid the launch and manufacture of new products, while they also see a boost in confidence. Payrolls are rising there too. In Australia, they got some disappointing building consent data for January, particularly for building new houses. Apartments seem okay. Levels were weaker than expected, recording a 1% decline versus expectations of a 4% rise from the prior month. These consent levels were coming off a sharp fall in December, which was also revised sharply lower. And the IEA released its 2023 global emissions report overnight. Emissions increased by 410 million tonnes, or 1.1% in 2023, compared with a rise of 490 million tonnes the year before, taking to a record level of 37.4 billion tonnes. An exceptional shortfall in hydropower due to extreme droughts in China and the United States and several other countries resulted in over 40% of the rise of emissions in 2023 as countries turned largely to fossil fuel alternatives to plug the gap. Had it not been for the unusually low hydropower output, global CO2 emissions from electricity generation would have declined last year, making the overall rise in energy-related emissions significantly smaller. Total advanced economy GDP grew by 1.7%, but emissions fell by 4.5%, a record decline outside of a recessionary period. Having fallen by 520 million tonnes in 2023, emissions are now back to their level of 50 years ago in these advanced economies. Total CO2 emissions from energy combustion in the United States, the largest economy, declined by 4.1%, despite its drought and hydro hesitations, while the economy grew by 2.5%. Two-thirds of the emissions reductions there came from the electricity sector. The US Treasury 10-year yield starts today at 4.23% and up 4 basis points from yesterday. And the price of gold will start today up $35 an ounce at $2,117 an ounce. That's a new record high, eclipsing the previous all-time high of $2,087 an ounce at the end of 2023 by 1.5%. And oil prices are down $1 at just over $78.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just over $82.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at just on 61 US cents again, little changed. Against the Aussie, we're holding at 93.6 Australian cents. Against the euro, we've eased to 56.2 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 70.3 and down about 10 basis points overnight. But the Bitcoin price starts today at $67,311 and up 7.2% from yesterday. That is a big gain and puts it just about at its all-time high of November 2021. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been very high, plus or minus 4%. It is also very volatile as we record this, so it's likely changed since. You get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.